We've been talking about winter for days now, but for New Yorkers, it's more than talk. The lights of Times Square are partially covered by a falling blanket that could cover the Big Apple with 3 feet of snow, and many of us could see snow on the ground by tomorrow morning.
And some are already seeing snow now. There are already several delays and closures ahead of the winter weather. They are scrolling across the bottom of your screen.
Tonight, team coverage with 10 on your side's Jason Marks live in York County with VDOT.
But let's start with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater. Don, the big question is how much snow?
And we're going to get right into that. We want to show you what's going on, first of all, where we are seeing snowfall into the region, and that will, of course, affect how much snow we get in the final result. I want to show you if it's snowing outside your house. I've been watching this all night long. There's a burst of snow that's dropping southward out of the Chesapeake Bay. Have seen a mix of rain and snow over the eastern shore. It's now changing over to all snow. We move on into Virginia Beach and Norfolk, starting to see some snow, perhaps a little more of a mixture and some solid rain as we work our way toward the ocean front, Langhorne area, Allenton area, Bay Island. But once we hit about Aragona and Kempsville, it's pretty much solidly snow, and on toward Glenwood Park, the base, and Norfolk Ocean View, even into Ghent, we're seeing a few flakes of snow quite likely into your area. Now, these areas are dropping southward at about 25 miles an hour. So just to give you an idea of where this might be going here in the next hour or so, toward the Pungo area by 11:07, Geneva Park 11:02, in other words, any minute, Deep Creek 11:08, let's take another one, Benefit at around 11:24. So again, these areas continuing to drop southward. We also go over to what's going on the peninsula. There are pockets of snowfall, little bit of a heavier pocket of snowfall, very, very near the interstate into Hampton, just going past Hampton University right on into here. And also, you're going to see a report. You can compare what we're seeing in Yorktown on radar with Jason Marks, who's out in the field. There's some snowfall going on there. He's reporting from that area. You can see what's going on also all the way on up toward the Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore. You've seen a lot of rain, and that's been changing out over to snow as we speak. For most, we're going to end up with a dusting at best out of this. I want to show you what's going on with the latest version of our Future Track computer model in terms of what's going on for the area. Here's what's going on at the midnight hour. That solid slug of snow tends to drop southeastward. We can see a little more solid snow at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning before it finally moves on off. High temperature tomorrow, basically into the upper 30s to around the 40-degree mark through the area. So how much do we expect? We'll hone right on in on the Hampton Roads cities here in a couple of minutes, but generally 1 to 2 inches of snow blown off the bay, 2 to 3 inches across the eastern shore, and then we could see some streaks on off into inland areas as well. We'll talk about how much snowfall we're going to get out of this. Again, we'll hone in on the majority of the population too. That'll be coming up in just a few minutes. I've been watching this. We'll have some updates, hopefully some updated forecast models too. Stay with us.
Our team coverage continues now. 10 on your side's Jason Marks has been in close contact with VDOT officials this evening. He joins us now live from York County.
So, Jason, what's their plan as we go into the overnight hours?
Yeah, close contact. They're standing right next to me. But first, let me tell you about the snow that we've had in Seaford here in York County. It started about a half an hour ago. Very, very small flakes. So you needed a light on to be able to see them. And then, as you can see now, we've gotten some good snow for the last half an hour. Do not see it sticking to any of the ground yet. We do see it sticking to like jackets, and Rob has a cover over his camera. You can't see that obviously, but I know it's sticking to that a little bit. It's starting to gather. We mentioned VDOT, and we mentioned that close contact. Right now, right next to me actually is Lori Simmons from VDOT. And Lori, you said things are starting to go a little bit here. Talk about the Accomack County thing, because I know that's a new development.
Yeah, so we've been seeing rain pretty steadily in Accomack County and Northampton counties for the past couple hours, and we're starting to see it change over to snow quicker than we thought. So our residency actually started mobilizing earlier around 10 o'clock. Crews are actually getting ready to start heading out, salting out there. And then on our interstates here on the peninsula and on the south side, or not south side, but just on the peninsula, they started mobilizing around 10 o'clock, getting ready to start treating the roads.
What are you guys expecting?
You know, this is a nor'easter. We're kind of getting the tail end of it, so there's a lot of possibilities, and we're prepared for anything. So we're looking at possible accumulation. That's why we put spreaders and plows on our trucks over the weekend in preparation for this event. So we're prepared to plow if necessary if we see that accumulation on any of the interstates or the primary and secondary roads that we take care of.
Have you looked at any of the latest stuff? You mentioned that we're expecting some rain first, and now all of a sudden we're having some snow. How does that change things for you?
You know, it doesn't, because we're just going to send crews out there immediately as soon as they get in here. We're actually already starting to have crews arrive here in Seaford, getting the trucks ready. They're going to put some salt in their trucks and start heading out, and we're going to make sure that we're on the roads before any accumulation starts.
And I know we do this whenever we get a snowstorm, but talk about safety as far as the drivers. When you see those trucks on the roads, talk about what you should do.
Well, really just slow down, pay attention to those trucks, stay back about 100 feet, give them some space, try not to speed past them, because if they have their plows down, that's dangerous for your car if you're trying to pass them. So just stay behind the plows, slow down, take it easy out there, because we don't want anybody into an accident. Safety's first.
Lori, thank you so much. I know you guys have a very long night coming in the morning hours ahead of you. We are going to stay on top of this throughout the overnight hours. Lori will be up. And so obviously our overnight crew will be in close contact with her. But for now, that's the latest here in York County. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
And it is going to be a busy night elsewhere. In Virginia Beach, Public Works employees loaded up 30 salt trucks with sand and salt today. We also checked in with Williamsburg, Peninsula cities, and the Eastern Shores. Many workers will gather at midnight to check on areas that have to be treated. It's a short time from now. Norfolk will have an overnight skeleton crew.
Our main focus will be the 19 bridges and overpasses that we have citywide.
We want to kind of be sure the roads and the streets and the bridges and ramps are taken care of before rush hour starts around 6.
VDOT and ERC say they are keeping a close eye on the interstate, especially leading into the downtown and midtown tunnels. Teams are trying their best to make sure that everyone gets to work safely come sunrise.